and it takes good partners. So today, I think, is a really good day for all those reasons. On behalf of United Way and the Seattle Public Library, who's our host, and these many partners here, we welcome you. In United Way, we are working toward a racially just community where people have homes, students graduate, and families are financially stable. We know that one of the quickest, easiest, and most efficient ways to make families financially stable is to make sure they take advantage of the Earned Income Tax Credit, one of our nation's most vital anti-poverty measures. United Way King County's free tax preparation program is in its 20th year. This program is funded by United Way, the IRS, and big thanks to the City of Seattle for their continued support. The free tax preparation program runs from January through April, and last year alone we helped 6,400 filers secure more than $11 million in income tax refunds. We also help King County residents with individual taxpayer identification number applications and renewals at selected sites. I started by saying today is a really good day for a lot of important reasons. Today marks the launch of the Working Families Tax Credit. It is a new Washington State tax credit that will give yearly cash payments of as much as $1,200 to 420,000 low to moderate income households in Washington State. These are our neighbors. These are folks who find themselves dependent in many ways upon support from these organizations, from all of you. We are so excited to be helping King County residents access the Working Family Tax Credit this year at all of our free tax preparation sites. United Way has been part of the coalition working to advance the Working Families Tax Credit for more than a decade. And in fact, one of my friends here actually says more like 15 years. That's what I mean by intentionality. Good policy sometimes takes a long time to enact. And that's really important because many of our societal problems go back hundreds of years. We know the firsthand the power of tax refunds to help provide stability and security for low-income households. We are deeply committed to addressing issues of hunger, poverty, and homelessness, and are proud to join together with groups like the statewide Poverty Action Network, SEIU 775, and the many, many members of the Working Families Tax Credit Coalition to celebrate today, the first day that people in our state can apply for this new Washington State tax credit. Our staff and volunteers are upstairs on the 5th floor of this building, helping with tax filing and Working Families tax credit applications, even as we hold this press conference. Unlike other similar federal tax credits, the Working Families Tax Credit will also be available to undocumented immigrants and others who file taxes with an individual taxpayer identification number. There is intentionality in the policies that we are all here celebrating. We need to be inclusive of all folks who are residents in Washington State and here in King County. This tax credit will make a huge difference to tens of thousands of Washington families, particularly communities of color across our state who are disproportionately lower income due to policies that have long prevented them and their families from building wealth. In King County alone, nearly 100,000 households will be eligible for the Working Families Tax Credit, and that cash could be up to $54 million influx to our local economy. One of our partners in this journey toward a more equitable society is the Washington Governor, Jay Inslee. He's been a champion and is a champion for the Working Families Tax Credit, and he's been a strong and courageous partner in our efforts to reduce poverty. Today, we're pleased to have, on his behalf, John Reiser, Director of the Washington State Department of Revenue. John.
Thank you, Gordon. I want to thank the hard work of the United Way tax team. They're instrumental in this work that we're doing. This is a very important day for the state of Washington and Washingtonians. I'm proud to be here to announce the launch of the Working Families Tax Credit Program. As Gordon mentioned, 400,000 families, up to $1,200 in a refund. This money can assist families in whatever their financial needs may be. It could be for food, it could be for emergencies such as unexpected car repairs. It could be to support your family and your children. This program also embraces those with individual tax identifier numbers, or ITINs. They are also eligible for this program. Working Families Tax Credit Program is a step in addressing intergenerational poverty and equity in the state. I want to thank the legislature, I want to thank the governor for the confidence and support in the Department of Revenue to administer such a meaningful program. It was also personally exciting to see and experience many state agencies rallying around this program and working with the Department of Revenue to create the program that we put together and are launching today. I want to call out especially Veteran Affairs, Department of Commerce, DSHS, Department of Licensing. They have been extremely helpful in providing the resources to the agency. We also have built and really appreciate the relationships we have with community partners. Again, extremely important in getting the word out to individuals aware of this brand new program. I want to commend the Department of Revenue Working Families Tax Credit team, who've worked diligently for a year and a half to help stand up this system. And Department of Revenue is honored to play a role in supporting such a critical program. As early results are showing, it's overwhelmingly positive. This is day one of our launch. We already have over 10,000 applications. Woo. Woo. And I'd like to turn over to Natasha. She has a
My name is Najee Jackson. I'm originally from New York, but I moved here to Washington in 2012. I live in Bremerton with my husband and my two boys. My older son, DeNandre, he's 12 in the 7th grade. He's on the wrestling team. I have a younger son named Xavier. He's 10. He's in football and basketball. Me personally, I am currently a student at Olympic College, 2 credits away from graduating. I work at the Kona Dome as an events cashier. I am also active in my community as a Head Start, parent ambassador, and an anti-poverty advocate. And as a supporter of indigenous people's access to education and jobs and benefits. During the COVID, my family was able to receive the tax credit each month, and it really helped. I always feel bad when I can't buy things that my kids really like. And when those payments came, I could finally do a little bit. As I was able to buy school clothes and shoes for my kids to wear instead of hunting through stuff at Goodwill. It made my kids happy, just as important as it made me feel better. I was able to provide for them. We also used those payments to pay the internet bill at our house. This was especially important when they were working and when we were working and doing homeschooling. Sometimes it would also help during rent time. after having those payments, I know this would be helpful for my family. We'd get like $900 this tax credit, with this tax credit. With $900, I would keep doing the things that I've been doing, like buying clothes for my kids, and also paying the internet and the rent. But because it's only a one payment, I might also be able to do some other things that's needed to repair my car, or save money for when the time was most needed. Thank you for this opportunity to share why the tax credit would be important. Now I would like to pass it to Sterling Headers, President at SEI 775. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Sterling Harders. I'm president of SEIU 775, the Caregivers Union. We represent 45,000 caregivers across Washington State and Montana. Thank you so much, Nigel, for sharing your story and for all the work that you have done to help end poverty in the state of Washington. So I want to make 3 points today. The first is that we are all here today after, as Gordon noted, 15 years of work, because we all came together as a coalition and got her done. The Working Families Tax Credit Coalition is the statewide poverty action network, One America, Asian Counseling and Referral Services, the United Way of King County, the Washington State Budget and Policy Center, the Washington Community Alliance, and many, many more. Hundreds of caregivers who are members of my union helped fight for this over many, many years. And I want to just invoke the name today of Becky Hernandez, who's been a caregiver for over 10 years, who went to Olympia to testify for this legislation, who signed in support of it countless times, who got to be there in person when the governor signed it into law last year. When she was there, Becky said, "Your voice can be heard. You can make a difference, and you gotta make your voice heard, because what we do matters." Second, I want to double down on what a few people have mentioned today, which is that Washington State is the first state in this nation to build immigrant inclusion into the launch of this credit from day one. And that is because here in Washington, we recognize the dignity of every single member of our community, and I am thrilled that folks are going to be eligible for this tax credit, regardless of whether or not they filed their federal taxes with a social security number or with an individual tax identification number. And I want to thank the United Way of King County for helping to process ITIN applications and renewals, as Gordon mentioned, right now as we hold this press conference in this building. And third, I want to note that this is just the beginning. Right now in Olympia, legislators, both Democrats and Republicans, are fighting to pass legislation that would expand the Working Families Tax Credit in really meaningful ways. In particular, my union is supporting expanding eligibility for the tax credit and making sure that no one is left behind. We're especially excited about a proposal by Representative Mylin Tai that would expand the tax credit to both younger and older workers without kids in their home to make sure that they could access this credit. Folks in this room know that Washington has the most inequitable tax code in the country, and this is not the end of the road. We're going to keep fighting every day to make sure that all Washingtonians contribute equally to our parks and our schools and to public services. And as previous speakers have noted, this tax credit is going to make a huge difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands of working people in Washington State. And so to wrap us up, I am going to turn it over to Emily Mananigan, who is the manager of the Working Families Tax Credit Coalition. Emily?
Thanks so much, My name is Emily Benedik, and I'm the Working Families Tax Credit Campaign Manager, and it's my great honor to work with the over 50 organizations that make up the Working Families Tax Credit Coalition. I want to first say thank you to John, Gordon, Nija, and Sterling for your kind words and for helping make today possible and make this credit possible. I cannot underscore enough, this is a historic day. This is 15 years in the making to get us here, and I have more thank yous to come. My deepest gratitude to all of the coalition members who worked their butts off to get us here, and continue to work to make this credit more accessible. I want to thank the elected leaders who voted for this and finally funded this. In particular, I want to thank Representative Neelan Tai for her championing of this policy. She really was a game changer for us to be able to get this passed, including ITIN filers. I want to say thank you to the Department of Revenue for working so hard to set up this infrastructure. It's no small feat to set up a brand new department and a brand new infrastructure to get cash out to people, and we're really thankful for you. I want to take a moment to highlight some of the groups that are doing incredible work across our state to make sure people know about this program. I want to thank the American Indian Community Center in Spokane, Okanagan County Action Council in Okanagan, Pacific County Immigrant Support in Southwest Washington. These are just some of the groups in addition to our coalition who are working right now to make sure people are getting the most of the benefit they are entitled to. Our message today is quite simple. If you, your loved ones, your neighbors, yourselves, your community earned less than $60,000 last year, please don't miss out. You could be eligible for upwards of $1,200. This is a really huge, momentous time for our state, and it's on all of us to make sure that our loved ones know about this credit. I'm gonna end my remarks there. I wanna thank everybody who's here today, and just let the press know that we will have 3 to 4 spokespeople that will be in this area over here who are able to take interviews and answer questions. But I just wanna say thank you once again, and let's go get people their money.